Now we can talk about your book.
Your latest project, maybe.
Tell me your book. So about the ultras, yeah.
The problem is I have too many projects at the same time. The book was released in 2017 in France. The second book.
2017. The first book.
The second one.
Oh, second one.
The
second
first
one.
one
Okay.
was in 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Just talk about politics, but not really do
It's
the
a lot
politics.
of provocation. The
Okay.
same in Italy. If people put a Che Guevara, Mussolini flag, it's more about provocation.
Okay.
To say, wow, we are tough. If you speak really about politics, very few people have idea.
Yes, saya Sian.
Saya Eps,
Son of Prung. Another untold story. Yeah.
Tiang gawang puing-puing, sisa bangunan yang tergusur, tanah lapang hanya tinggal cerita, yang nampak mata hanya para pembual saja. Anak kota tak mampu beli sepatu, anak kota tak punya tanah lapang. Sepak bola menjadi barang yang mahal milik mereka yang punya uang saja. Dan sementara kita di sini di jalan ini.
Yo, bertemu
Oke.
lagi dengan Son of Prung.
Another untold story.
Ya, kita episode berapa nih? 61. 61 ya, episode 61.
Episode 61.
Kita kedatangan
Special guest.
spesial guest, ini teman ngobrol lah.
Teman
Yang
ngobrol.
very spesial banget.
Very special.
Yes,
very
very
special.
spesial. Kita kedatangan tamu dari luar negeri ya.
Dari mana tuh?
Dari Prancis. Tempatnya
France.
dari France ya.
France.
Tempatnya dari Marseille.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Prancis. Dari Prancis. Temannya Kylian Mbappe.
Benzema.
Oh.
Ya, Benzema.
We're just speaking about player who didn't play for
Oh, oke,
Marseille.
Benzema.
So it's not that I like.
Yes.
Oke.
Nah, ini sikapnya, jadi dari manapun dia nggak ada di klubnya, jangan disebutin.
Oh, oke. Sorry.
Kayak we can introduce ya. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam ya.
Good evening.
Boleh kita perkenalkan? Can you introduce yourself? So the people in the TV and the YouTube.
So I'm Sebastien Louis, I'm 46 years old and I'm a former member of Commando Ultra from Marseille from 1994 to 2007.
Wow.
And from 2007 and on I stopped because I did my PhD.
PhD
Doctorate in
Doctorate.
history about ultras and the connection between Italian society and ultras.
yes.
And since 2009 when I get my PhD, I'm one of the specialists about ultras on academical level. I'm not the only one. There are several people working on the subject in Europe and in France. But the difference with the others, they are all sociological or anthropological, and me, I'm coming from historical field. So this is the difference.
Ya. Wah, nih buat teman-teman nih, dia tuh ngeberesin PhD-nya itu ngeberesin PhD istilah dokter di kuliahnya tuh, anjir, ini istilah dapat dokternya gelarnya tuh dapat ngebahas ultras. Ya, ngebahas ultras ya. You have a PhD with
About ultras.
About
My
ultras.
PhD, the thematic, it's a connection between Italian society and ultras from 1967 to our day.
Yeah. Wow, it's very cool thing ya. Cool. PhD man, PhD.
Sarjan dokter berarti ya?
Ya, dokter.
Dokter sebenarnya dokter.
I wanna ask you still follow support Marseille, or you still follow commandos?
So I'm not active anymore since 2007. When
2007.
When I was into the PhD, I decided to do a step back because to be ultras it's 100%. To do a PhD it's 100%.
Wow.
So it was impossible, and I choose the PhD.
You must choose. Yeah.
I must choose something, but still, until I hope to die in a long time.
Yeah.
But until I die, for sure, Olympique Marseille is my
Marseille
team.
till you die.
Blood.
Yeah.
So the blood is blue and white.
Yes. And now you look match Marseille just on TV or not on stadium?
No, I go time to time to stadium, but not a lot, because it's a bit hard for me to go to stadium, because when I go, I see the group and me, I'm on the side, and it's a bit hard. So on television, I don't watch. I don't like football on television. Even my team, I don't like. So for me, football, it's only stadium.
Yes.
To see the television, it's very strange because, I mean, I can understand if you cannot travel, you want to see the game, I understand. But for me, football and television, it doesn't fit together.
Oke, jadi teman-teman, kata si Cuy ini, jadi kalau nonton bola itu harus ke stadion.
Walaupun kamu udah rehat atau udah ada fase hidup kamu, apakah kamu nikah terus jadi dokter terus jadi fokus di apa sih sekolahan
profesi,
gitu
sekolahan
atau apa, mending datang ke stadion.
Watching football, you have to go to the stadium. Is that right?
It's a bit, I love cinema, for example.
Yeah.
I look a lot of movie, and I don't understand people who look a movie on a mobile phone. So the football on television, it's like to look a movie on mobile phone. You lose a lot.
Of course.
In a theater, you go in the theater with the big screen, the good sound, it's totally different experience.
Yes.
The stadium is the same. Even if you're not ultras, to go at stadium and to watch on television, it's two different things. It's like eating very good food cooked by your family and to go to McDonald's.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Berarti betul bahwa seperti Sebastien bilang bahwa nonton sepak bola di TV itu seperti nonton TV di handphonenya,
di bioskop lah gitu.
Jadi
nggak ada passion nggak ada apapun gitu. Jadi lebih baik ke stadion aja. Kan banyak kali di Ultras ya. Turn your TV, go to stadium. May I know the first you into to commandos.
So
commandos
the first time I went to stadium, I will speak of my first experience in '91. I'm 14 years old.
Wow, 14 years old.
And with my father, and my father didn't like football.
Yeah,
He took me to stadium because I love Marseille. He wanted to take me.
Yes.
And we were not with ultras. It was an away game of Marseille, and the ultras were 100. And I remember all people around me had the shirt of Marseille, but were not singing. The 100 in the away fan, they were singing.
Yeah.
And when I saw them, I understand it's like this for me to be a fan. And I was 14 years old, no internet, nothing.
Of course.
But I understood this is a way to go to
they
stadium.
hard fans,
But your father didn't like football?
No, he liked rugby.
Oh, rugby.
Because in France, rugby is a big passion, number 2.
Oh, okay.
So he liked rugby and he tried to give me rugby. I didn't want rugby, I took football.
Ya, jadi Sebastien ini diajak ke stadion sama bapaknya ya, waktu umur 14 tahun.
14 years.
14 years old.
14 years old.
Dan bapaknya si Doi itu bikin main bro, bikin rugby ya. Ya, oke. Sorry.
And rugby and maybe in England or something.
England also it's quite popular, but the rest in Europe it's not very popular.
Yeah, Australia or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But I never liked this sport. For me, it's not interesting. Boring.
It's not. Yeah, boring.
You can play football?
Always. That's why I love football.
Always.
Because since kids,
we
were playing football with my friends. At school, we were playing football. At least when we had 15 minutes free time during the break, we were going to play football, running. So I mean, all my youngster, we start to play with tennis ball, with tennis ball when we were kids, and then with not a real ball, like a very light ball, and then with a real ball. So I mean, for I don't know, 15 years, I think I played football when I was a kid. It was always football was just the only thing That we did, sorry.
Yes.
That we did.
Kicking a ball.
It's still coming.
Iya.
Ultras ya.
Jadi sih sok main bal tiba-tiba
Sepak bola itu emang dari kecil.
Ya.
Dari bola tenis
kecil,
sampai bola gede, dia emang memanfaatkan itu karena mungkin permainan cowok ya. Jadi mungkin permainan anak-anak muda.
Ya.
Anak-anak kecil terus itu bola, terus for 10 years into the stadium, you go to stadium and you in another stadium.
Terraces.
Yeah, in another terrace you look some. This is weird, man. Like more ultras in.
No,
yeah.
but especially I remember one thing. Around me, everybody has a Marseille shirt, official Marseille shirt, and my dream was to have a Marseille shirt, but my father didn't want to buy me. It was very expensive.
Yeah.
So he bought me a scarf. I was very happy about the scarf.
Yeah.
But I see people with scarf
With
and shirt.
Marseille.
And for me, if people have a scarf and shirt, they should sing. And they didn't. They were sitting. And the 100 were there, they sing. So for me, even if I was a kid, I understand this is to be a fan, this is to be a spectator. And I wanted to be a fan, to participate.
The pure fans, the die-hard fans. Maybe you can talk about Commandos. The first time birth of Commandos in.
So the first time I've been officially, it's in '94, 3 years after.
94.
4 years after.
But from '91 to '94, I was going to see a game, mainly away game of Marseille, because I was living in another country. And during this game, I was always with the Ultras. But you have to imagine in Marseille at the time we had 4 groups: Fanatic, Ultra, Winners, and Yankee.
Yeah, Yankee.
And me, I was directly attracted by Ultras. Maybe because of the name, but also because of the style. I like their style.
Yeah.
So I wanted to follow this group, and in '94, when I was 17 years old, I took my first membership, and I started to be really active.
Yes.
To see minimum 20 games, 30 games, 40 games after per season, and going everywhere.
Everywhere go to away. And
almost when I could with the money, but always even with no money, traveling, taking the train without ticket, you know.
Fighting or something, yes?
Well, not so much because for me the violence was nothing which attracted me. It was something which was part of the culture, but it was a bit fascinating. But I've never been a violent person, and violence is not something which I like. I think. But I like more the atmosphere, people singing, the flair, so it's more a way to go to the stadium. And after, for sure, maybe there was violence, but and I think violence, I'm sorry, it's a bit like sex. You know, there's people who speak a lot about violence, about sex, and they do nothing.
Okay.
So the best is not to speak about it, and if things happen, it happened, that's it.
Oke. Jadi, doinya tebeki violence ya?
Ya.
Kalau misalnya
tinggal
ngomongin tentang ultras gitu kan, biasanya kan barudak ngomongin ultras, hooliganisme atau apapun itu dekat dengan kekerasan di sepak bola. Ya. Cuman doi sangat menghindari hal tersebut.
Sampai dia kan punya pikirannya ya udah gitu, sampai kayak sek aja gitu. Ini bilang ngomong sek aja, padahal yang tadinya oge gitu.
Oke. Seperti itu.
The first time is Sebastien is the writer.
Oh, writer.
The writer. You have a book ya?
Author?
2 books.
2 books.
And you traveling to Indonesia, you publishing Ultras.
Yes,
Ultras book.
The 2 books are about Italian culture,
Italian
culture.
Italian culture.
Ultras are born in Italy.
Yes. He's a writer, yeah.
Writer, 2 books. First book?
The first book it's about Italian history of the Ultra, but it's a small book. And the second book, it's a big book. It's my PhD, and it's like 450 pages. It's an academical book.
Oke. Itu jadi persyaratan dia waktu mau lulus
PhD.
menyelesaikan gas PhD. Jadi bikin buku pertama tentang ultras. Gitu, Brodak.
Can you tell about Olympic Marseille Ultras or Commando 84 ya?
84,
Commando 84. Itu is there stand for political view or something else?
So first you have to understand that Marseille is a city which is crazy of football.
Yes.
It's a bit like Napoli in Italy.
Yeah.
So everybody speaks about football. Even the people who don't go, the old woman, the old lady, the grandmother, They know what is Marseille, the color, the main player, the result. It's something which is very important in daily life in the city. Yeah. So it's a real football city. Yeah. This is the first thing. Second thing, Marseille in the 90s was the best French team. It's the only French team who won the Champions League in 93, 26 May 93 against Milan. 44 minutes, Basile Boli on a corner score 1-0 and we won the Champions League. And it's still, I think, one of the best moments of my life. I saw it on television,
detail, bro.
But it was something so emotional. Yeah. So this is the point. And then I fall in love with the team because of my aunt. You know, everybody say from father to son, it's not true. There is a lot of women in stadium, and my grandaunt, she gave me the passion of Marseille. I was a kid, I was 12 years old, I was at her place, and she was 75 years old, so quite old.
It's very old, eh?
And she was supporting Marseille. And I didn't understand why, and she explained me, and I looked the game with her, and because of her, I became a fan of Marseille. Watching the game with her, and Marseille lost this game. And because they lost, for me it was a tragedy. I was a kid, 12 years old, and for me it was love at the first sight.
Yeah, the broken, it's very, love at the first sight.
Yeah, Marseille is a big club, maybe. The name was famous.
In the 90s, yeah. In the 90s,
I know Marseille from France, just like the team from England, maybe. Marseille is a famous club.
Yeah, and we have a great player. I mean, Chris Waddle as English player, Abeli Pelé, Basile Boli, Fabien Barthez, Meta. I mean, Eric Dimeco. We have really fantastic player, and also we had very good audience. Ultras in Marseille, the first established group in France, Commando Ultra in '84. Why? In '84, Marseille is in second division and coming back to first division. And during the promotion, a small group of 20-30 people following Marseille, not Ultras, fans, but active fans, go to stadium together. Kids, teenagers, sorry, not kids. And then one guy, French from Italian background, Marco Valera, speak with them and said, "What you are doing? We support Marseille." And he shows them, "I'm Italian, look what we do in Italy." And they cannot believe. And he was a Juventus fan also. He took them to Juventus Torino for the derby, and when they arrived there, they see Italian Ultras live. They couldn't believe. When they come back, they decide to establish the 31st of August 1984, the first Ultra group in France, Commando Ultra.
Commando Ultra.
Why Commando Ultra? Because Commando Ultra Napoli or Commando Ultra Roma were two big names at the time.
Yes.
And they like Commando Ultra, very strong name.
Commando Ultra, ada Roma and Marseille, yeah.
So this was the first group, and then I have a group start in Marseille. But for me, it was I was attracted by Commando Ultra. Strong name, I like it, and that's it. And I started to join it in '94. And you ask about politics.
Yeah, multicultural.
Yeah, the city is very multicultural. Yeah. Marseille is a harbor.
Harbor, so everyone will come.
Exactly, you know, Surabaya.
Migrants, it's migrants or something.
People from all Indonesia.
Of course.
Marseille is the same. It's a harbor, so you have people from a lot from North Africa,
immigrant,
Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, from Greece, from Italy, from really all the world. You see. Armenia, you see people of all color, and this is very nice because it's an open city in a way. Be careful because also there is a fascist party, a right-wing extremist party in France, which is quite strong in Marseille. So it's not
very strong.
Open for something, but the stadium it's an open thing. There is no racism, and even there is anti-racism, more left-wing view, Palestinian flag, anti-racist banner. Very positive culture in a left-wing way.
But you can tell me about you can before you talk about left-wing, left-wing in stadium gitu kan, you can talk about maybe your far right. There's a lot of far right.
In France, it's a bit
in stadium or
in stadium more or less there is no politics, but there is. Two before, Paris Saint-Germain and Lyon were very right-wing extremists before. And Marseille was not politic, and in the 90s started to be politic. So now in France, we can say there was before Paris right-wing extremist, Marseille more left-wing,
Yes.
but it changed. Paris now don't do any more politics, but have more left-wing view, more open, because hooligans were right-wing, have been kicked out by the new direction of Paris.
Wow.
So about politics in France, it's a bit like everywhere. You have to be careful. A lot of people show politics, but not a lot do real politics.
Just talk about politics, but not really do
It's
the
a lot
politics.
of provocation. The
Okay.
same in Italy. If people put a Che Guevara, Mussolini flag, it's more about provocation.
Okay.
To say, wow, we are tough. If you speak really about politics, very few people have idea. The thing which this is important in Marseille, the stadium is very open and very cosmopolitan with everybody. You have a lot of people
Everybody
coming from
open,
everywhere, and this is nice. It's one of the stadium which is more open, we can say, in France. But most of the stadium in France, you see people coming from France. It's a very open country.
Ya,
In the way that a lot of French are foreign background.
Ya, ya.
betul. Jadi itu.
Jadi banyak diceritain tentang political view ya, political view dari beberapa supporter dan dari Paris Saint-Germain terus ke mana ya, Marseille juga gitu kan. Terus
Dan sepak bola Prancis itu
terbuka sebenarnya.
ya, itu terbentuk dari berbagai multikultural, multi etnis atau apapun itu ya. Oke, teman-teman, sekarang kita masih syuting di mana? Tempat jangan lupa.
Wah, kita tadi syuting di mana ya kayaknya?
Di Kopi Seduh Sembuh ya.
Kopi Seduh
gitu.
Sembuh ya. Makasih juga
Terima kasih udah ngasih tempat dan waktunya.
udah dua kali kita ya di sini ya.
Udah 2 kali ya? Episode kemarin.
Nah, episode kemarin juga.
60 ya?
Kemarin terus sekarang Kopi Seduh Sembuh terbaik juga nih.
You don't drink coffee?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Wah,
You don't drink beer or something?
I drink beer.
Liquor or booze?
So much.
Not so much.
Some beer.
You don't
time
smoke,
to
eh?
time.
You
I
don't
don't smoke. I try to be serious.
Yeah. Good for healthy ya.
Exactly.
Positive life ya.
When you get old, you have to be more healthy.
Jadi kita bro era ini teh sih ya mah. Ceherang we kami mah cenanya.
Maybe I want to know about what is your view about Olympique Marseille in '93 who wins the Champion Cup or Bernard TV scandal case? There's another scandal or
Yeah, there was a scandal. So the most glory time of Marseille in 1983, we won the 5th title on a row,
wow.
French Championship, and we won so this is on 29th of May. 3 days before we won in München the Champions League against Milan, the first club ever.
Yeah.
And I was not there, I saw it on television, I was 16 years old, but still it's a great memory, I still remember it. It's like really, if I said one of the 3 best memories of my life, it's for sure. Even if it was on television, I was a kid, but it was a dream. And at the same time, there was a scandal of corruption, and we went to the 2nd division because of this next year.
Second division about the corruption and scandal.
Yes, we have been
Bernard Tapie,
relegated.
who is the Bernard Tapie anyway?
He was the president of Marseille, and he was the greatest president of Marseille because with him we won everything. We won 5 titles, we won French Cup, and we won the Champions League. So he passed away, and when he passed away, a lot of people of Marseille were crying.
Okay.
No, they were crying. He's still seen as a god in Marseille. A lot of people venerate him. Even if there was a scandal of corruption, he is one of the... He's not from Marseille. He's from Paris, but he understood the spirit of Marseille. And everybody loved him for this because he got with the spirit of the city. When he died, when he passed away, a lot of Marseille Ultras went to the funeral. They were with a banner out of the church.
Dedicated.
So no, it was quite an important moment.
Wow. So he is the most important.
For if you speak, in fact, when he died, after there was a choreo with his face, and everybody called him the boss in English. He's the boss because he was his nickname. So he's for a lot of people in Marseille. He's the boss.
The boss, yeah.
Bring
some trophy to Marseille or everything. He's the boss, man.
Okay, I have a question. When you were Marseille Ultra, the greatest moment when you were?
It's hard because I think every moment was great. The first time I went to an away game with Commando, Saint-Brieuc OM, It was a big memory. I was 17 years old, everybody was older. People were looking at me, what is this guy? He's living at 900 kilometers of Marseille, and he's coming to Marseille to do 900 more kilometers to follow the team.
Wow.
So, I mean, I have a lot of great memory. Maybe, if I can say, not one game in particular, but a series of games, it's when we went to final in 2000 I have bad memory, 2004. We went in final against Valencia in Göteborg, and we qualified and we kick out in UEFA Cup Liverpool, Newcastle and Inter Milan. And these 3 games were one of the best atmosphere of my life of Marseille. It was something totally crazy. I mean, a real crazy atmosphere. So these 3 games, and maybe I will remember one of these games. It's Inter Marseille. We qualified in Milano.
That's a big game, yeah?
Big game. We were 6,000, and I was ill. I just went out of hospital, but still I went to the game. I couldn't sing because I was still ill, but I wanted to be there with 6,000 people, and it was a great memory.
You cannot sing, but...
Yeah, I was like...
You can go with ambulance.
I was just going out of hospital, but still I went and...
you must go with ambulance, something.
No, normal car. I could walk everything, but I was still very, very bad.
Nah, you talk about 100 kilo to come to Marseille, yeah?
900, yeah.
Because your home is?
I was living in Luxembourg at the time.
At Luxembourg.
So to go
you are in Marseille, birth in Marseille, but you stay in Luxembourg, okay?
Yeah, so I was traveling and to go and come back, and our home game was...
Every match a home game?
No, because after I moved close to Marseille for my study, so after...
Oh yeah, you go study, okay. Another question, yeah. Tell me about making of triple alliance about Olympic Marseille, Livorno, and IK10.
Okay.
There's any obstacle or negative comment because?
So the connection starts between AEK and Olympic Marseille.
AEK and Olympic Marseille.
And Olympic Marseille.
Or Livorno is
after. So in '94, Marseille, because of the corruption case, was kicked out of the Champions League. So Marseille had to play against AEK, but they couldn't. So Monaco played the AEK, and some fans of Marseille went to support AEK against Monaco.
Yeah, support AEK, yeah.
Yeah, because
Monaco.
Because Marseille was taken
rival,
out. So they said, we go with AEK against French Federation. And because of this, start a small friendship, and enlarge, and start to be a real friendship. And since 1994, mainly Commando Ultra, it's a friend with Originals 21 from AEK. And it's still a strong friendship, so it's since almost 30 years. And at the start of 2000, Commando Ultra, the friendship with Livorno, Brigata Autonome Livornese. And once we proposed to Commando, there was another game in Monaco AEK again in 2003. And we proposed to Livorno if they want to come one car to see AEK. Because maybe they will like. They came one car and they love it. And then the friendship became the free group. So this how it starts. And we can say it's interesting because Marseille have no friendship in France. Marseille, nobody like Marseille, not nobody, but Marseille is very popular. But when you are very popular, a lot of people don't like you. So it's very strange. Marseille have a lot of fun in all France. At the same time, a lot of other teams, not every team, but a lot of teams don't like Marseille. So we don't have friendship in France, but we have friendship abroad. It's more easy.
With origin, friendship is more. And not about a friendship, but about the political view, no?
No, it was a bit the political view, but I think most of the ultras, as I said before, are not about politics.
You know about Livorno? This is
for sure. No, there was an attraction because Marseille was more left-wing at the time, and still is more left-wing, but I think there is a mix of attraction of ultra, politics, and friends. So it's a real mix.
Itu ya, berarti jadinya koneksi itu jadi terbentuknya tina awalnya si AEK
3 klub
lawan Monaco. Nanti Marseille Indi itu ke AEK dah terbeki federasi Prancis kan ngadukung AEK si Komando tuh
Kaditunya Athena.
Ka Aek teh jadi dukung Aek dibanding Monaco gitu. Sabendera istilahnya benernya.
Iya, benar.
Tah, Yep, apalagi yang ditanyain, Yep?
Yang ditanyain sekarang. Nah, loba sih ya sebenarnya tanya bingung. Urang nanya Yesi ngomong loba.
Lot to question to you ya. Now we can talk about your book.
Your latest project maybe.
Tell me your book. So about the ultras, yeah.
The problem is I have too many projects at the same time. The book was released in 2017 in France, the second book.
2017, the first book.
The second one.
Oh, second one.
The first one
Okay.
was in 2005, 2006.
Okay.
But since it has been translated in Italian, it will be translated in Greek, in German, and I'm still working, doing research. So the book is continuing. I do a lot of presentation in Italy, a bit everywhere, even in other country. I did one in Malaysia, in Indonesia also. So I'm continuing to promote a bit the book, and at the same time I have some other project I would like to do. I would love to do a book about North African ultras and maybe Indonesia. So this is a dream I would like to do. I don't know when it will be done, but it's two things I like, and at the same time I don't have a lot of time because I do exhibition. Since 2015 I work with museum. I started in Marseille about an exhibition about football, and I had to work on the curate the party about ultras. Then I work with Institut du Monde Arabe in Paris. I work with a museum in Luxembourg. I work with a museum in Italy. I work in a museum in Belgium. And now, since 2 years, I'm working in Sweden with a national museum about an exhibition which is called Ultra, Football and Politics in Mediterranean World.
Yes.
So how long you collect the data with?
You don't bought some book to here?
No, I didn't because my luggage was too small. So next time I have to take some.
Maybe.
But about the exhibition, I collect objects. So I have a lot of objects that I collect, and I give them to the museum for during the time of the exhibition. And I also write the comment. I said maybe we can take this. I do also some interviews, so I'm a kind of scientific advisor. I'm also writing the text and helping them.
Maybe you come to Indonesia next year or wherever gitu, you come to Bandung and sign your book gitu, with selling some book.
I hope so. It will be my pleasure.
People in Indonesia maybe you want to know. In your book is in English or?
No, French, English, French, Italian, German, Greek. So we have to translate in Bahasa. If we found the
in England? In English?
No. English.
Okay.
How long you collect? How many years?
Research
from the start to
since more than 15 years. Almost
15 years.
Almost 20 years.
Almost
when
20
I started
years.
to do my first master degree at university, I can say my research start. PhD start better, and after with museum even more. So I'm still researching now. I'm still a researcher, and it's something I hope to be alive 40 years to continue, because it's a life project. It's a life project, and I don't want to do it for me to say, oh, I'm a cool guy. I'm not a cool guy. But I really love what I do. I love ultra culture, fan culture, and the idea is really to put it in museum, because when you put this in museum, people understand it's something important. It's not just something. A lot of people think it's stupid to go to stadium. It's a bit, you are stupid. You lose your time, your money, and you fight. So you're violent, dangerous. But if you go in a museum and you put and you explain to people, most of people in the museum, everybody tell me, wow, I didn't know it was like this. It's very interesting. So this is my point, to give a highlight on the ultra culture.
Okay, the difficult when you collect the data from start to finish, maybe about.
You have a photo or something,
I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
You have a photo or something in your book, maybe a photo.
The difficult thing when.
The difficulty, not really, because as I was ultras, when I started my book, I was ultras, so it was easy. And then I wasn't any more active. It was more easy because I could interview. That's why also I don't want to be active anymore, because if I have to go in an enemy place with the ultra, it's not easy. If I'm not anymore ultras, I can go as a researcher. So for me, it's much more easy. And then I am lucky. I have good experience, and a lot of people, you have to be respectful. This is the most important.
Yes.
I always try to be respectful.
Of course.
It's not easy because 3 days ago I was in Jakarta, your enemy, and I have to be honest. I know your enemy with Persija, I know this, but me, I'm a researcher. I'm not here to say that I'm with you or I'm against you. I'm here to try to understand.
Yeah.
And also to understand, I have to be on the two sides. I have to speak with everybody. And not to say you are better, because nobody is better.
Yeah.
It's super, everything is interesting.
Yes.
Even a small
group.
place, small group is interesting, because it's easy to be a supporter of a big team like Marseille, but to follow a small team in 4th division in Italy,
Yes.
it's really you need a lot of courage and passion. So I think everybody has reward for what you do, and then, as I said, the most important for me, it's always respect. I always say what I do, I always honest the maximum,
Yes.
and then I explain why I do and if I can. So I think I don't want, sometimes I can do video for YouTube with violence. I don't care. Look at my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page about the book, and there is nothing about violence. There is nothing sensational.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can put a video very quickly. I don't put it. I don't care. I'm not doing it for 10,000 likes.
Okay.
The most important, it's a long-term work.
Yes.
Ultra culture, it's a long-term work. It's a marathon work. You
Marathon work.
run like 100 meters.
Yeah.
So my research is the same. It's a very long term. That's why I said I hope to be alive 40 more years
Yeah.
to continue the research.
You help your life, you know. You help your life research about the ultras. And
If the health is good, I'm very happy. No, I'm happy. I'm a bit. That's why I have sunglasses. I'm tired.
yeah. Okay.
So it's better with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I'm not happy. It's very exhausting, but I love it.
Yeah,
Love
you,
it.
you use sunglasses, very charming. Okay, the first book is Italy and Italy,
Yeah.
and the second book is
The
Ultras.
same, but the second one is really very deep. It's 450 pages, and it took me 15 years to write it.
There's just European or
Only Italy.
only Italy.
Only Italy.
Second books too.
Also, only Italy. But
No,
very deep.
France.
No, because
Europe?
I love Italian Ultra. It's a
Yes, the roots,
country,
yeah.
The roots.
Okay.
And if you go to Italy, in 6th
Yeah.
division, in 7th division, you have group.
They have group
30 people.
ultras there.
Maybe 30 people, but 30 people who follow the team. And
Yes.
this is beautiful. It's the only country in Europe, maybe with Germany.
Okay.
Germany and Italy are the two countries who have hundreds of ultra group.
So you, as a ultras, maybe write a book is easier.
Yes and no.
Easier
Yes,
than
it's easier because I can have more, be near of the sources of the
Yeah.
people, but no, because I have to be careful about what I write.
okay.
Because I have to be, for me, for example, I speak a lot about violence,
Okay.
and I don't say it's not good. I don't like violence, but I don't say it's not good or it's good. I'm a researcher. I don't have to say this is good or bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like racism,
Yes.
and there are some ultra who are fascist or racist, but when I do research, I don't care. I don't want to say they are bad. No, they are
Yeah.
ultras. So I have always to have a distance, but I'm a researcher. When you're a researcher,
Yes.
you have to have a distance with your topic.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you have traveling to Europe, in Italy, Germany, or Russia maybe, about the ultras in European.
Yeah, I travel mainly in Western Europe.
You've been traveling after you have retired a bit
Yeah,
after the
but
Commandos.
I follow Marseille everywhere,
Yeah.
so I've been everywhere with Marseille, in
Yeah.
Croatia, in Sweden, in Russia, in Spain, everywhere
Yeah.
following Marseille. But then after, I go a bit everywhere, but not a lot in East Europe. I'm not crazy about the East
Yes.
European model because it's a mix of ultra and hooligan,
Yeah.
and I don't like so much hooligan culture. Me, I focus about ultra
Yeah.
and mainly in Italy. I go everywhere. I go in Austria, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Spain. But for me, I love to go to Italy. It's always a return to the roots. And then I go a lot in North Africa, Indonesia, Malaysia also. I've been in Palestine, in Israel.
Oh,
also
Palestine,
to see-
yeah.
to see
Palestine,
game.
Israel, they have ultras
Yes,
too, yeah.
I saw even in USA 2 games. So,
USA?
Yeah. I'll travel a bit.
Yeah. Nah, maybe in Europe you have left ultras or right ultras. What you have been connect with something or you know?
There is a lot of ultras, but the point is now with internet, with social network, everybody can say we are ultras.
Yeah.
Ultras is not about a brand. It's not about a tattoo. It's really about a state of mind.
Way of life. And
way of life. It's eating ultras. It's sleeping ultras. It's drinking ultras. It's something. It's
positive view.
Always there. So even my friend who are my age, who are not more active, they still think ultras. So to be ultras, it's really a state of mind.
Biggest group ultras in Europe, where's?
It's hard to say because it's a question of point of view. One of my best emotion in Italy in 5th division sometimes, with 30 people. I was in Paterno, close Catania, 21st of December, 4 days before Christmas. Christmas is the biggest party in Europe. 4 days before Christmas, there was a game at Wednesday, 2:30. People are working. There were 30 ultras singing. I said, shit. They were not impressive, maybe by the number, by the songs, but they were there following their team. So for me, I always think there is not a huge ultra. For sure, I have some model in the history of Italian ultras. I can speak about Commando Ultra Curva Sud from Roma. I can speak about Brigate Nerazzurre Atalanta. I can speak about Ultra Tito Cucchiaroni Sampdoria, Collettivo Automo Viola della Fiorentina. I have a lot of Italian model for sure. But I think still now to be ultras is very hard because a lot of repression. And when I saw a small group in a small city, I always said, wow, that's nice.
Jadi menurut beliau, jadi ultras itu banyak juga ya di berbagai belahan Eropa ya. Betul nggak Sion?
Yes.
Kalau bicara masalah jumlah mungkin.
Di ultra Italia, beberapa klub bola Italia ultra yang paling gahar ya sampai ini dia udah kenalan sama si apa namanya tuh si lain pemimpin ya di temannya kan sih ngerti pentolan lahnya pentolan-pentolannya udah kapok-kapokannya udah pada jadi tahu ngobrol aja gitu ya ngebahas tentang masalah ultras itu sendiri.
The connection with the club ultras
atau with the ultras ya, with the couple ultras and
it's a good question. Normally it should be two separate things.
Yes.
The club is the main thing, the art of the ultras, but at the same time it should be separate. We should not accept money. We should not accept free tickets. We should not do business. So to be ultras is to be independent and to be critical. We are like a trade union, you know, a trade union fighting for the right of workers.
Yes, fighting for the right, yes.
The ultras are fighting for the right of the club and of the fan. It should be two separate things. At the same time, it could be a communication to organize a choreo for small things, okay, but for the rest, it should be okay. You have to look for the team, we have to look for the interest of the club and of the fans. So it's really, it should be, for sure, dialogue, it's very important, but the dialogue, not too much, not just enough. A good dialogue and really no interest. Ultra is not for money, it's not for business. There are people who are selling merchandising and making money. It's something for me, on my conception, it has nothing to do with ultra. If you want to make money, go to open a shop and do whatever. But don't make business by selling a name
or selling a
group.
Because I heard before that ultras with club is not separation.
It depends in the country of the club, etc. Some are very close, some have interest, some are far away, so it's really depending. Each situation is different.
So the situation is different ya. Oke, jadi ultras itu tidak ada keterkaitan sama klub ya.
Ya, harus menjauh dari
harusnya
harus jauh.
Berbeda gitu.
Jadi supporter ya.
Ya.
Jangan berdampingan dengan manajemen klub bola. Karena ketika kalau berdampingan, toh jadi ultras satu.
Ada kepentingan di situ berarti ya.
Susu aja, ultra make. Di beres susu ya maksudnya kita ya istilahnya namanya ya sebagai penunggang marking namanya sebenarnya anu ningalikeun gitu. Si klub itu ya kieu gitu. Jadi wajar ketika ada apapun gitu di klubnya emang ya ultras mah emang ya kayak gini ya ultra memang kayak gini supporternya. Jadi emang menjauh dan tidak harus dekatan. Ya. Kalau ada apapun tinggal berdialog tapi dialognya dialog standar ultras sangat nawe. Ya orang yang kieu mana kudu kieu gitu. Mun teu janggeus kurang dikieukeun tah. Jigana kitu meureun emang bahasa Inggris mah. Sorry,
Sorry,
we talk in Sundanese.
No problem.
In Sundanese bahasa. Ya.
Okay, exhibition near future. Exhibition near future. There's another time you will bring.
I hope. So now I'm traveling at end of September in Sweden because we do a second exhibition in Gothenburg, the second city of Sweden, about ultra football and politics. And I hope we will continue. I hope to continue with our museum because to do exhibition, I discover it. I love it. It's fantastic. When you have to imagine you have old people who know nothing about ultras from Sweden, and they see something about Moroccan ultras. And I have to explain them. And when I explain to these people, they like it. And this is my purpose. Ultras is a culture with a big C.
Culture.
And I want to focus it on the culture. There is negative things. There is violence, there is extremism, there is some drugs, whatever. Yeah. But in every context of life, there is negative things. Yes. I don't know nothing which is 100% positive. Nothing. So ultras, it's like a mirror of society. There is positive things and negative things. And me, I like to highlight the positive things because I think there are a lot. The most positive thing about ultra culture, it's easy. It's a collective.
Collective, collective.
We live in a very individualist society. Everybody is behind his cell phone. Everybody has Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, showing nice picture when he eats on vacation.
Being ultras,
exactly, be tough guys.
Tough guy, langis.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And everybody don't speak each other because everybody at restaurant look at his phone.
Yeah.
Ultras, you are a collective. It's not you who is important, it's a group. And this I like. I really like this idea.
No point when you go to stadium, your smartphone is on your pocket.
Yeah, but for sure it depends because most of the time, it's in pocket. But when I go, a lot of time I'm in front of the curva. I take a picture. I love to take picture, to do some video, then to look. So it's my work. It's an anthropological work. I'm on the field, with and a bit far away. I'm always moving, speaking, and that's it. It's like this.
Because I see in Indonesia, every supporters, if you go to stadium, they are busy with
selfie.
Not everybody, but
not everybody. I think
everywhere is the same. It's
ultras, man.
I am ultras.
In a lot of places.
Okay.
With ninja jacket or something else,
but that's okay. I understand.
What do you stand your political identity?
So for me at stadiums there should be no politics. I'm against politics at stadiums.
Unpolitical.
Ultra no politica.
Sometimes antisocial, but always.
The only thing which I would like, but this is me, my personal view, I would like an anti-racist.
Anti-racist,
For me, the racist has no place in stadium.
Yes.
The stadium, it's a collective, as I said. In stadium there is everybody, the big guy like the small guy. There is a disabled guy, there is an immigrant, there is a woman, there is everybody, the fascists, the communists, and I like this. So for me a stadium should be an open place. And that's why for me racism has no place in a stadium. Stadium is really a welcoming place for me. I see it like this. So really I have a problem with racism, this is true. And I think it's also very stupid in the normal life. I still don't understand why you're racist. And I travel a lot, I'm very lucky. I'm a very lucky man, I travel a lot. And I see that racism exists everywhere. Also in Indonesia there is racism against Papua people, for example. In France there is racism against French from Arabic
I'm immigrant.
Exactly. So I don't understand because we are all human beings. We are the same. It's not because
we are birthed in.
So I don't understand. This is the point. But for the rest, at the stadium, if you want to do seriously politics, it's not the place because stadium, it's most of all for fun and to see with your friend and support your team.
Yes. 90 minutes. 90 minutes.
As simple as that, maybe.
90 minutes happiness. Stadium happiness. Win or lose happiness.
Don't have money, happiness.
Okay, a lot of supporter in maybe in Europe, Asia or something else. There's lot of banner about the flag of Palestine. what the view of you about the Palestine?
It's a good question. First of all, one of the most historical ultra group in Italy, Fedain, took the
Fedain
name.
There's
1972.
There's club of
So in Italy, different group took the name Fedain. The first one was established in Roma in 1972.
yes,
Fedain means freedom fighter in Arabic.
freedom fighter.
People, the Palestinian freedom fighter.
Okay.
Why? Because Palestinians have a strong image. In the 70s, they did attack to show to the world we exist and we resist.
Yes.
And a lot of ultra like the idea of Palestine. You see a lot of banners for Palestine in Italy, in Greece, in Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Why? Not only because these
They're not
countries are
Arabic or
but also because Palestinians are the small against the big.
yes.
And a lot of ultra recognize themselves away in the Palestinian. They
Yes.
are against oppression. So that's
Oppression.
why
Oppression
you can
is
see some banner of Palestine. In fact, when Abu Ammar, Yasser Arafat,
yes.
there were several groups in Italy, even in France. Commando Ultra took a banner with
Europe is bigger, yeah. It's
took
maybe
some flags.
maybe like it's
tribute of,
in
Yasser Arafat.
Scotland. There's a
Celtic, exactly.
Irish.
No, there is difference. So I think it's because a lot of people
Against the
understand there
oppressed.
is an injustice.
Injustice
Yes.
against the
Palestine-
oppressed. Yeah.
Exactly. It's still occupied. I mean,
Okay.
we're speaking about a war
Occupied.
occupied since 1967, and they're still resisting. And for a lot
Still
of
now.
ultras who don't really have a lot of knowledge about the situation, they understand that these are resisting
Yes,
people
betul.
fighting with a strong image. So that's why
Yes,
a
but-
lot support them. And then
But injustice, yeah.
it's about injustice, exactly.
Justice
So
and humanity maybe.
Yes,
sure.
yes, of course.
it's not about being
Being a plague or religion, no.
Not at all. A lot of people are not Muslim and support. I know a lot of Jewish people who
Yes.
support Palestine.
Yes,
Okay.
a lot of Jewish in Palestine too.
Exactly. They support the Palestinian cause because they know it's a human right case.
Human right case.
It's
Human
not
rights.
Jewish against Arabic
No,
or Jewish against Muslim.
or religion, Muslim or
No, it's an occupation. It's colonialism. Like
It's colonialism.
Indonesia was colonized,
The oppressed.
Algeria was colonized, Palestine is colonized. It's easy.
This about the oppressed and
Resistance
occupation, yeah.
and freedom fighter.
Okay.
Yes, must
Freedom
be
fighter.
freedom and justice must be right for your right ya. Justice ya.
Justice.
Keadilan itu harus ditegakkan gitu.
Ya, betul.
Jadi emang bukan masalah agama, bukan masalah you mau Arabic or Jewish,
Ya.
tapi Palestina itu masalah
Termasuk beberapa
humanity.
kejadian di Indonesia
Humanity.
kemarin ya.
Iya betul, masalah humanity ketika negara dijajah.
Betul.
Yang asalnya welcome, boleh kamu bisa di sini gitu. Akhirnya dijajah gitu. Sebenarnya kan
Oke.
itu kan ketidakadilan ya.
Oke, what about
And sorry, I just add, not a lot of people know, but there is one ultra group in Palestine, Ultra Khalili. So ultra culture exists also in Palestine.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting.
May I know this what?
Ultra Khalili.
Ultra Khalil.
From
This
Al Khalil.
Al Khalil. Al Khalil is a Palestinian football.
Palestinian town, and the club, it's named Al Khalil FC, Shabab Al Khalil, and they have some ultras. So no, it's quite interesting that there are ultras also in Palestine.
Palestine and Tel Aviv too. Yes, there.
In Israel there are also, but it's a bit different, but there are.
But maybe I know about the Tel Aviv. Yeah, I would Tel Aviv or I forgot. Yeah, Tel Aviv, and there is a lot of connection with Antifa or
because
Antifa.
one team in Tel Aviv, Apol Tel Aviv, it's very left.
St. Pauli or something.
Exactly. St. Pauli and Liège, another team, and Gate 9.
They against.
And they have also a friendship with a Palestinian group of Israel, which is called ULTRAS. So in Israel, it's not also, it's more complicated than everybody think. There are also some people
with
who are open, open mind.
with the mind that
Exactly.
man.
Jadi keadilan harus ditegakkan. Betul.
Oke. Jadi banyak ya tadi yang di kayak Tel Aviv juga, ultras Tel Aviv ya. Jadi itu ultras Tel Aviv.
Ultras Apol.
Apol.
Two
team ya.
Maccabi were right wing.
Oh, Maccabi is
Maccabi Haifa.
Ya, Maccabi Haifa.
Maccabi Tel Aviv also.
Oh ya.
Maccabi Tel Aviv very right and Apol Tel Aviv very left.
Very left ya. Itu lebih Apol Tel Aviv lebih dekat koneksinya ya ke teman-teman dari si Irish juga kan, teman-teman Ireland, terus dari St. Pauli gitu kan, dan beberapa teman-teman dari sayap kiri juga ya. Berarti dia juga support juga gitu kan buat Palestina sebenarnya sih.
Ya, betul.
Cuma di negaranya yang kayak gitu.
Negara konflik ya.
Negara konflik and occupation dan anjing ya.
Betul.
Harusnya sih semuanya ya emang bingung ya nyeritakan ini ya kudu muka Bible.
Okay, North Africa. What do you think? Your
You're very excited about North Africa.
Why?
Football, just not the football. About the ultras or
Ultras started quite late in North Africa, and it started because of internet, who spread the ultra culture. Before in the 20th century, some start to be a bit ultras in Tunisia,
yes.
and in 2002 the first ultra group was established in Tunisia, ULTRAS from Espérance Tunis.
Yes, Tunis.
And why Tunisia? Because Tunisia is in front of Italy. It's very close to Italy. They speak, a lot of people speak Italian.
Maybe
yes.
something
they look
like
television, and they did the first ultra group there.
Like Turkey, yeah. Turkey is Europe, but there's connection in.
Yeah, but Tunisia is more close, and it's because of history and everything.
Okay.
So,
Historical, maybe.
yeah, and Tunisia was the first, and then Morocco, Algeria, Egypt.
There's a lot of ultras.
A lot everywhere. And it's
Everywhere.
a very popular culture in North Africa, very strong.
You've been there?
I've been to see at least 50 games. I go often.
Fuck, man.
I was in February, I saw 7 games in Morocco. I go very often when I can.
Ultras with the attitude or something like
No, it's interesting. It's a bit different from Europe, but it's very interesting and very passionate.
Passionate, yes.
A lot of passion because it's poor country.
Yeah.
And I think it's not nice to say this, but the future of ultra is in poor country, not in rich country.
Yes.
Why? Because in rich country people have everything. Mobile phone.
Working class is
Exactly.
working class, yeah.
And the people who don't have money,
Yeah.
they have not only, but most of them they have only the stadium.
Yeah.
So that's why when you go to this country, the passion is totally crazy.
It's the only passion is totally crazy. Yeah.
There's one thing, Tunisia football is better than Indonesia, maybe.
Of course. Indonesia is level up, man, level down. Mungkin ya, maybe ya Indonesia is level down because too much corruption,
Too much drama,
too much slot naon anjing sebutan teh gambler. In Indonesia is a lot football match. Football match is like a lot of gambling, man. Jadi you know about the score.
But also in Europe.
Huh?
But also in Europe, there's a lot
Europe
of
is
corruption.
a lot.
Football, it's not a sport anymore. It's
Yes.
a product. It's a business product. It's sad to say this.
Business about
And people care about money.
yeah, business about gambling or business about the FIFA.
Or about shirt, about merchandise,
Yes.
everything. It's a big merchandise.
Same old story, yes.
It's an industry. It's,
Industry.
In our club too, in Bandung, same as them. Corrupt.
It's a lot of corrupts in Bandung too. Yeah, maybe a lot of friend and there's we have a separate with the management club, but we have a attitude against the management, but management don't listen about us.
Don't listen to us.
Same like you talk about.
They don't care about our.
Same like talk about when back in the day the club and supporter they're spirit, but there's no dialogue.
Yeah. Next, okay, about weapon culture.
Do you agree about the weapon culture? Maybe weapon culture gitu kan.
Culture in Marseille.
Weapon culture.
Yeah.
Weapon culture, yeah, maybe maybe it's in
Or any city in France, maybe.
In
You mean in the
World
stadium?
Cup, Europe, Australia.
You mean the supporters?
Yes, supporter.
Not really, because in France, most of people don't go with a knife at stadium.
There's no weapon.
Most of the time, no. There is very few. Maybe some sticks or something, but not weapon.
Yeah. Stick and chairs.
Yeah, but in Italy it's quite.
And stone, maybe.
In Italy,
No.
stone, yeah, but not a real weapon. And the level of violence in France, it's after COVID it rise, but it's not so strong.
I know, but maybe I know about when Europe, when England supporter go to Marseille and all the Marseille units, there is no weapon. there's a lot of chairs on the flag.
But England has an image, and a lot of people attack normal fans. I mean, they don't attack hooligans. They think
Hooligans.
they are normal English fans.
Yeah. They maybe talk about, I mean, there's used to be weapon or something, but there's not. Okay. Talk about the books. Yeah, you have already Indonesia or Southeast Asia. You come to maybe Vietnam, Singapore or Malaysia.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe you have to go to Cambodia or Indonesia. I want to know about this book of ULTRAS. This has been done, or you have to?
I have to see because it's a long process. It's my 5th time I'm coming to Indonesia, and I'm still curious. I still don't understand a lot of things. I travel a lot. I've been everywhere a bit in the main team. I mean, I've been to Persija, to Persib, to Sleman, to PSM, to Persis, Persebaya, Arema, Kediri, Persi Kediri, Bali United, Semarang. But I'm very fascinated by what happened in Indonesia. There is a lot of passion, but still there is too many mix for me. It's complicated. There is mania.
You can talk.
Ultra, casual, hooligans, normal fans, all together.
Like me, I don't understand what the people blah 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 hooligan. I don't understand it. Hooligan means that's.
No, it's interesting. In Indonesia, it's a mix. But one thing is sure, there is a huge passion for football, a huge one.
Roots get there.
Huge. And when I'm there, when I see the atmosphere, I'm always impressed. I'm really impressed. I can see a real atmosphere and real love for football.
He knows everything about Indonesian fans, football fans, because he has 5 times.
5th time. Yeah.
5 times, yeah. 5 times.
No, it's a fascinating country. It's not only football, it's an excuse. At the end of the day, I use football fan as an excuse to understand the society. It's a key to understand the society and what happened. So it's just, when I come to Indonesia, the best is to go to stadium like this. I can understand more or less the society.
Yes. Maybe I want to more talk about Indonesian football. Indonesian football is like a same route when you come to Bandung or something, or everybody in Indonesia, people in the middle of the streets or in the middle of the coffee, they just talk about the football after match. This is very big thing, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. You see, I mean, and that's also Indonesia is not a rich country. So for sure,
poor country, man.
So for sure,
don't talk about rich country. We have living with employment.
So because of this, football also is very popular. I mean, when you go in a country where there is not a lot of money, football is even more popular. So this is interesting. And as I said, there is also different thing. A lot of women on stadium. I love it.
What kind of city you have been traveling in Indonesia? What do you have loved or
mainly in Java. So for sure Jakarta. Jakarta is a fascinating city because Jakarta is 4 city. Tangerang, Depok, Bekasi. So it means 30 million people. When I go there, it's half of the population in France with 4 cities. And I'm like, okay, I'm very impressed. And then Jakarta, it's big team, Persija. I mean, it's a huge team with big fans, good organization, Jakarta with a lot of things. Persib, it's different because for sure it's a smaller city. Also very
second
different.
City,
Very different because the mountain city, more fresh, and also a stylish city like Jakarta. Jakarta and Bandung are competing on the style. A lot of casual in the 2 cities, a lot.
The ultras.
Exactly, the ultras casual, big things. Different organization for sure. Stadium very far away in Bandung, which is not good. The stadium is so far away of the city. So this also is a problem, but a big patient for sure. Then you have Jakarta, Central Java with 2 big teams. For sure PSM in 2nd division and PS Sleman now in 1st division. Big rivalry also. 2 different styles, one very ultra, Brigada Corvasud, PSM mixed.
PSM
more casual. Mania also, some mania, less ultra, but also very passionate. Then you have solo with solo total mix, mania, casual and ultras. 1, 2, 3 sectors. So quite impressive.
Unity.
Exactly, big stadium also, very modern. Then Semarang with different style, very mania, with Panzer Biru.
Yeah,
big mania, controlling very well.
Cool.
And then some casual, but with some elements of ultra culture in
Ultra
Panzer Biru.
culture, yeah.
Kediri, which is a small city but quite interesting.
A lot ultra.
Everywhere. And maybe to
North
finish, 2-3 more cities which are important to mention that I've been. For sure, Surabaya, big city, Persebaya, Bonek,
Okay.
big culture with Green North, free
Green Force, yeah, Bonek.
Green North. Then the Mania, then Tribun Kidul, Gate 21, 4th sector, quite impressive. Then for sure you have a big Mania who start in, we can say, in Malang with Aremania.
Yeah, Aremania. You will come to Aremania.
Yeah, I've been also Arema Indonesia.
Yeah,
Important
Arema
mention
Indonesia.
Arema Indonesia, 2 teams, Arema FC and Arema Indonesia. Interesting, Arema Indonesia grassroots team.
Yes.
Contest the main team because of money and business. And then I can finish with Bali United, a new team.
After that, after the Arema, you go to Bali United, yeah.
This year I will not go to Bali, but I've been several times.
After this, you go to
I
Arema?
will finish to see a game in Surabaya.
Oh, Surabaya. Arema, no?
No, because they play in Bali.
Yeah. I hope you will come to Arema and talk
But
about.
this year it's not
talk about tragedy.
It's a tragedy. For sure, it's a sad. I mean,
It's about tragedy.
It's horrible.
It's about human right.
145 people
Justice.
will die. This is terrible. Justice must be done for these people.
Yes, of course. Okay, before the last question, I want to talk about about the reverse side bowlers. I use a goalkeeper and use a striker.
I know.
Reverse side bowlers is like a grassroots football in Bandung. There's built by supporter because angry about the management, in. Maybe I talk about the football club. Yeah, it's okay. I talk about football club Persib.
What do you think about that?
Persib,
What has about us?
It's a lot of friends build a club. There's a collective. There's a lot of collective and build some football club. It's like a riverside place. You know about the riverside place, like a grassroots, or maybe you know about the people talk about the punk football or whatever.
No, I think it's very interesting. It's a project that exists already in Europe. It starts, we can say, in Italy with the grassroots teams founded by fans. ULTRAS, who don't want to follow their main team for different reasons. I can speak about Ideale Bari. I can speak about in Firenze with Curva Moana Ponzi.
In Italy.
Quarto Grad. I mean, there is a lot of Ultra. We decide not to follow their team anymore, but to found a new team.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. So we did the same. I can speak about a very important example, Austria Salzburg. Austria Salzburg in 2006 has been built by Red Bull.
Red Bull. Yeah.
And they decided to change first the name of the team, not anymore Austria Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg, to change the color.
Red Bull also a lot of club, yeah.
Yeah, they buy several clubs.
Europe, yeah.
And the
till US, yeah.
The Ultras, they decide of Austria not to follow Red Bull and to found a new team. To form against Austria, the real Austria. And now Austria Salzburg is in 3rd division, the one of the Ultras, and the horrible plastic one, Austria, is in Champions League. But the Ultras follow this team and it's very nice. So it's a grassroots project. And in fact, this year in September 26, Austria will play for first time since 17 years against Red Bull Salzburg in derby.
Yes, derby.
So, and it's a derby not only about, it's two conception of football. Plastic money and real football.
That's the way it is.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I support for sure such a project, and I hope the best for Riverside.
Yes, Riverside is maybe like built by by supporters to being club, and yes, the grassroots. Maybe we had about the management and federation.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of people, yeah.
I hope the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your opinion about us.
Hope the best. Riverside.
Robbie is the motor of.
Cekeskan, nyalakan terus api. Ya, maksudnya kita terus nyalakan api buat si Riverside sampai kemanapun.
Sekarang kita di mana?
Kolektif.
Collective football.
Collective football, jadi supportnya by supporter.
By supporter.
By supporter and collective supporter. There's a lot of money. We have the donation or everything gitu. But
Nice.
okay, last question. Yes.
Last question.
Yeah. How about
casual or ultras?
subculture?
Subculture in Southeast Asia.
So in Indonesia in 2010.
Your opinion.
With your opinion.
What will happen? I don't know. It's very different. If you go to Malaysia, casual and ultra very split. If you go to Vietnam, there is a very small ultra culture. In Thailand, also small. In Indonesia, big but mixed. So every country has its pro and against. I hope the culture of the fan culture will be stronger.
Yeah.
I hope the ultra culture will be stronger also in Indonesia because it's I think a positive culture. And I hope the people will do the thing by their own.
Yes.
Because you don't have always. It's good to look to Europe, to different countries, North Africa. There is always interesting because we live in a globalized world.
Yes.
But I'm sure you will do nice thing by yourself. So I wish the best for all the fan scene. The only thing I hope there will be two. If I can hope two things. The first one I hope there will be less crazy violence because it's a pity that Indonesia is famous for crazy violence.
It's very
People
sick when Indonesia
were killed, and this it must stop because
there's no
there can be rivality, but there should be humanity.
They don't have mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No knife, no killing. It should be you respect the opponent. It's just an opponent. It's not an enemy. It's different. So this is the first thing, and second thing, but this is different. It's more in Indonesia. I hope there will be a real justice for Kanjuruhan.
Yeah, Kanjuruhan is the
big thing. I think
everybody you should know.
Everything changed in Indonesia. Vikings spoke with Jackmania.
Yeah.
I mean, before it would not have been possible. So I hope all this positive thing will do
unity.
Positive results.
Yes. But the justice is the paling hal yang harus ditegakkan. Keadilan tuh.
Yes.
Yep. Berhubung. It's about time, man. Sebastien is okay. It's about time we talk about more about the ultras, about the roots about the ultras, terus ngobrolin masalah apa lagi?
Banyak hal lah tentang ultras ya. Dari berbagai belahan dunia.
Belahan dunia yang udah Sebastien obrolin ya. Terus dia masalah buku juga.
Betul.
Not yet ya. Ultras not yet ya sebelum kita
the book.
Not yet before to South Asia.
I hope it will be now. Maybe inshallah.
Oke.
Berhubung waktu juga ya.
Waktu kita udah banyak obrolan, hampir 2 jam lah kita ngobrol.
3 jam ya?
3 jam ya? 3 hour we talk about the podcast, man. Maybe the podcast is like 1 hour. It's okay. Mungkin teman-teman yang bisa mendengarkan di rumah ya, atau melihat kita juga di YouTube ya.
Betul.
Kita mungkin lain waktu kita ketemu lagi sama Sebastien. Selain kita juga ya. Dia bawa bukunya juga dan autograf atau signature juga. Kita udahin dulu ya.
Maybe next time you back here, bring your book.
Yes. I hope so.
In publish in Indonesia atau England.
Publish here.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih sama-sama. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous.
Oke, kita akhiri dulu ya, Pak.
Oke.
This one Prung, another untold story session.
Saya bye.
Bye.